As most of you guys already know, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a massive crossover game. From RPGs, to fighting games, to platformers, to shooters, this game really is a celebration of gaming. And despite being one that mainly focuses on combat, it does a good job at making characters that don't seem suited for fighting feel natural. Not only that, but a lot of characters represent really well the franchise they come from, which is very cool to see. Making a fighter that can fully showcase the series it originates from can be pretty hard. There's a ton of factors that go into designing a character in Smash, and it's sometimes impossible to reference everything from the original source material. One example of this is the POKÉMON franchise. Although these fighters are very well portrayed, there's so much more that can be added to them because of how large POKÉMON is as a whole. You can use the Pokédex entries, stats, the millions of moves, some held items, the anime, or even just their physical attributes. The Pokémon fighters in Smash are all fun to play, and it's interesting to see how they transition from a turn-based strategy game to a platform fighting game. So, let's take a closer look at them, shall we? Pikachu, the electric-type Pokémon, joined the world of Smash back in '64 as one of the original 12 characters. It then became a returning fighter for every Smash game since, which isn't surprising since this cute and adorable creature is the face of the Pokémon franchise. But don't be fooled by its lovable stature, as Pikachu is pretty busted in Ultimate. In fact, many consider it to be one of the best characters in the game. Pikachu has pretty much all the tools it needs to excel at Smash. It has a strong projectile, good speed, an amazing combo game, a flawless recovery, a myriad of tools to edgeguard with, and is really hard to hit because of its insane mobility and small size. Pikachu is without a doubt a force to be reckoned with. But what about in its home series? Well, it isn't as good as in Smash obviously. Its stats are just not the best. It has little to no bulk, and its speed is the only thing it has going for. But even then, 90 base speed isn't too impressive nowadays with all the power creep. Its offensive stats are also pretty bad, being 55 and 50. However, Pikachu can double those stats with a light ball, but still, that's not enough to make it a formidable threat. But hey, at least Smash Pikachu is different. Way different.
Pikachu busted, nice.
But one thing both of them have in common are their stats. Proportionally, that is. No way Smash Pikachu has a small 55 base attack stat because it hits like a truck. Maybe it's holding on to an invisible light ball or something. At least its speed matches its Pokemon iteration. As mentioned earlier, that's its only good base stat, and that is portrayed quite well in Smash because Pikachu is extremely quick in Ultimate. It's in the top 20 in terms of running speed. It has the 12th fastest walking speed, and so many of its moves have little startup and no end lag. Its bulk, or rather lack of bulk, is also well portrayed. Pikachu is very light and will die earlier than most characters. For comparison, it's as light as Kirby and Sephiroth.
Wait a minute!
So yeah, Pikachu's stats are somewhat proportionately the same in both Smash and Pokemon. But what about the moves it uses? Well, this is the tricky part. In Ultimate, we have access to the names of every fighter's special attacks. But if you look into the tips menu, you can see that other moves are also given names from the developers, but not every attack has one. For instance, Pikachu's Dare has a name, but not its up air. So for this section, I'll only cover the moves that the Smash team has given names to. So even the ones that are obvious like Down Tilt, which looks like a Tail Whip, Iron Tail, or Slam Attack, won't be covered since it doesn't have a name. To start things off, Pikachu's jab is called Headbutt. As its name implies, the user hits its opponent with its head, and it is indeed a move that Pikachu learns of Pokemon. Its down smash is called Electric Flower, which is a really badass name, but it isn't an actual move for Pokemon. The same can be said about its back air and down air, called Glider and Electric Screw respectively. So yeah, the majority of Pikachu's normal attacks are pretty much Smash originals. At least its specials are from the Pokemon games, right?
Psych!
Well, there's Pikachu's neutral special, Thunder Jolt. An electric projectile that bounces along the surface. This move is not from the mainline games. In fact, it comes from the trading card game. For its side special, Pikachu uses Skull Bash, a normal type move that packs quite a punch. They both act similarly in Smash and Pokemon. Skull Bash is an attack that has two phases. First, the user raises its defense by tucking its head. Afterwards, it lets go of its charge and springs forward to attack. And that's exactly how it works in Smash, minus the defense boost part. For its recovery move, Pikachu uses Quick Attack. One thing that's interesting about Smash Pikachu's Quick Attack is that it stuns its foes for a while when touching them. This attack doesn't normally do that in Pokemon as it is a plain normal type move, but this may be a reference to one of Pikachu's abilities, Static. This potentially lets Pikachu paralyze its foes with coming into contact with them. Pikachu's down special is Thunder, a powerful electric attack that it learns at level 44. In Smash, it acts differently than in Pokemon. Instead of hurling thunders at its opponents, Pikachu hits itself with the move, causing a large discharge of damage nearby foes. This is probably a nod to one of Pikachu's Pokédex entries, stating that it sometimes gets struck by lightning. Lastly, its final smash is Volt Tackle, which isn't a surprise considering how it is one of its strongest attacks it can learn. It doesn't hurt itself with recoil like in the mainline games, but man, the damage is still insane. Pikachu definitely has an interesting move pool in Ultimate. In an actual Pokemon battle, it wouldn't be the most optimal build. But hey, that doesn't matter, because this moveset works perfectly for Pikachu in Smash. As mentioned earlier, it's amazing in Ultimate, and its attacks are definitely a factor to why. Thunder Jolt is an amazing projectile that is painfully annoying to deal with. Thunder is a powerful attack capable of spiking and ending stocks very early, and both Quick Attack and Skull Bash can be used to mix up Pikachu's recovery. Not only that, but its specials do a good job at showcasing its physical attributes. They complement really well with its nimble and agile body. Honestly, I really like how Pikachu was portrayed in Smash. Pichu, the tiny mouse Pokemon, was added to Smash back in Melee as a semi-clone of Pikachu, its evolution. An interesting thing to note is that Pichu was brought into Smash because Sakurai wanted a character that was bad on purpose to be in the game. In other words, Pichu was a joke character. But funnily enough, it's far from being the worst character now in Ultimate. Pichu has an amazing combo game, really good speed, a solid recovery, and great damage output. The only bad thing about it that would represent its joke character label is that it would damage itself when using electric type attacks. Which is actually a nice reference to some of its Pokédex entries. A lot of them state that since it's still in skill at controlling electricity, Pichu would often shock itself at times. Despite being a semi-clone, Pichu plays very differently from Pikachu. A lot of their moves do look similar, but they have distinct properties. Not only that, but Pichu's self-damaging mechanic and lighter body makes it a bigger glass cannon compared to Pikachu, so making even the tiniest of mistakes will definitely kill you. And that's pretty similar to how it is in Pokemon. I mean, just look at its stats. It's not going to be tanking much. Even in the Little Cup tier, a format for unevolved Pokemons, it isn't worth using, as there are tons of better Pokemons of the same type to use, such as Elekid and Chinchou. Honestly, Pichu has it rough in both Smash and its home series, getting outclassed by better electric type Pokemons. Another thing that it shares in both titles are its stats. Pichu's speed is definitely its best asset, and its offensive prowess is way better than its bulk. For its neutral special, Pichu uses Thunder Jolt. Its speed and power are better than Pikachu, but at the cost of self-damage. In fact, all of Pichu's special attacks inflict damage to itself, even the normal type ones, like Skull Bash and Agility, which is pretty odd. Actually, the fact that it uses Agility is also pretty weird, since it can't learn it in the first place. Well, at least Pichu's final smash is a move it can learn. For that attack, it also uses Volt Tackle, and just like in Pokemon, it damages the user with recoil and it does a lot of damage. It's pretty funny to think that Pichu, a character designed to be weak, isn't too bad of a fighter. So despite being a semi-clone character, Pichu is definitely designed in a really interesting way. Its self-harming electric attacks and adorable nature really matches its Pokemon counterpart, and even though it is somewhat outclassed by its evolution, you shouldn't underestimate it, because Pichu is still a formidable fighter.
Oh shit! Alright!
Jigglypuff, this cute puffball looking Pokemon, joined Smash alongside Pikachu back in 64. And in that game, it was the original joke character according to Sakurai. He labeled Jigglypuff as such due to its light weight and how making other players fall asleep was hilarious to him. Not only that, but when Jigglypuff's shield breaks, it dies, which is probably a reference to it being the balloon Pokemon. Anyways, despite being called a weak character by Sakurai, Jigglypuff was far from ranking as the worst character back in 64, and it's the same in Ultimate. Well, it isn't as great as it was back then, but it isn't bad either. What about in Pokemon though? Well, unsurprisingly, it isn't great. There isn't much reason to use it. I mean, just look at those stats. Sure, 115 base HP is nothing to scoff at, but that means nothing when your defense and special defense are 20 and 25. Still, I guess Jigglypuff's deceptive bulk in Pokemon is also present in Smash. Its abysmal stats are similar to how frail it is in Ultimate. Jigglypuff is the second lightest character, meaning it will die way earlier than most of the cast. But that 115 HP stat is somewhat comparable to how it can avoid some dangerous scenarios. Jigglypuff's lightweight allows it to escape some combos, and thanks to its excellent air mobility and mid-air jumps, edgeguarding it can be quite troublesome. Well, that doesn't mean Jigglypuff's unkillable, however, because one solid punish is enough to take its stock. Now just like Pikachu, Jigglypuff also has a name given to some of its normals, Bounce Smash and Dash Attack. The former is called Jiggly Split, a move where Jigglypuff uses its legs to attack both in front and behind it. Definitely a Smash original. Dash Attack is called Jiggly Ram, which isn't an actual move in Pokemon, but from the looks of it, it's probably a headbutt or takedown. Well, at least its special moves are accurate, right? Well, not really. Yes, without a doubt, Jigglypuff's most iconic attack in Smash is pretty different from its Pokemon counterpart. Although they both share the sleeping aspect of the move, Rest simply heals the user to full health and gets rid of any present status conditions. In Smash, however, Rest is a freaking Spirit Bomb. Anyone that comes into contact with Jigglypuff at the start of the move will be sent flying away instantly. Not only does it have little startup, but its attack has very high knockback, making it an amazing tool in Jigglypuff's arsenal. And if your opponent somehow lives a hit from it, it will receive the Flower Effect, a status that continuously damages the target for a set period of time. Now this move does seem broken, but just like in Pokemon, Rest will leave the user vulnerable for a while. So Jigglypuff will have to make sure it lands a hit without fail. And that's where two of Jigglypuff's other specials comes into play, Pound and Sing. Now unlike in Pokemon, Pound is a fantastic attack. Landing it successfully in the air can combo into Rest at certain percents, which will definitely guarantee a stock. And if your opponent tends to block a lot, well, that won't be a problem either, because Pound does a ton of shield damage. So if you manage to break a foe's shield and make them dizzy, you know what to do. But that's not the only way to reliably land Rest. Jigglypuff's up special, Sing, synergizes really well with it. Just like in Pokemon, anyone that hears its song will fall asleep. Of course its range isn't the best, and it removes a recovery option for Jigglypuff, but anyone that gets hit by Sing will surely be on the receiving end of a brutal punish. For its neutral special, Jigglypuff uses Rollout. It's a pretty hard move to use consistently due to its charge, but when ready, this move will do a ton of damage, just like its Pokemon counterpart. Lastly, Jigglypuff's final smash is Puff Up. Just like the name implies, Jigglypuff puffs up as much air as it can, then rapidly deflates, launching its opponents away. It's most likely a reference to its balloon Pokemon title. Jigglypuff's design in Ultimate is very neat. Its number of funny looking attacks really showcase its joke character title. And playing as Jigglypuff really makes you feel like the balloon Pokemon. Its moveset would definitely struggle in an actual Pokemon battle, but in Smash, it shouldn't be underestimated. Up next, we have Mewtwo, the genetic legendary Pokemon. Created by science, Mewtwo is one of the most powerful creatures in the Pokemon universe, lore-wise and gameplay-wise. I mean, just look at its stats, move pool, and held item options. It's insane how versatile it is. Any build you can think of, Mewtwo can run it. And in Smash, it's no different. It has all the tools it needs to be a decent character, allowing it to be played in a multitude of ways. Mewtwo can overwhelm its opponents with aggression thanks to its fast attacks like Nair and Down Tilt. It can act defensively and bait and punish reliably with its mobility and low cooldown moves. And Mewtwo can even cam its opponents thanks to its projectile and deflector. Another similarity between Mewtwo's Smash and Pokemon iterations is one of its abilities, Pressure. This ability makes Pokemons lose 2 power points when using a move. This makes opponents think twice when choosing an attack. You see, if a Pokemon's move runs out of power points, it will be unable to use said move in battle. And if all of its attacks have no power points, the Pokemon will struggle and damage itself. Some teams are built around this strategy, which is called PP stalling. The purpose of it is to pressure the opponent to carefully choose a move until they make a mistake or start struggling. In Ultimate, that sort of interaction is somewhat present in Mewtwo's gameplay. Although power points are not in Smash, pressure is definitely a concept present in fighting games. You see, pressure involves using a number of attacks to keep an opponent on the defensive. Just like PP stalling, the goal of this is to keep your opponents on their toes until they make a mistake. In Smash, Mewtwo is amazing at applying pressure thanks to Shadow Ball. This projectile packs quite a punch, so when people see Mewtwo firing it, they would most likely block or dodge it. And this can be used to Mewtwo's advantage. By throwing out a Shadow Ball and running alongside it, Mewtwo creates a very tight situation for its opponents. If he decides to block it, Mewtwo can go in for a grab. If he decides to avoid it, Mewtwo can react and make a follow-up. And if he does neither, he'll get hit from both Shadow Ball and then some. This one move really lets Mewtwo pressure its foes with ease. Definitely one of its best specials. Now, I know that I've been hyping Mewtwo for the past minutes, making it sound like it's one of the best characters in Ultimate, but no. It isn't. Sure, in Pokemon it's an Ubers, but in Smash, it's nowhere close to being a top tier. Something that hinders it is its stature. Because of its large size, it gets comboed easily, and due to its super light weight, it will die way earlier than most characters. In other words, Mewtwo is a big punching bag that isn't very durable. Being tall and light is never a good combo. For comparison, Mewtwo is the same weight as Pikachu and Olimar, which is crazy to believe since the Pokédex states that Mewtwo weighs 269 pounds or roughly 122 kilograms. Another thing that is different from its Pokemon iteration are the unique moves it has from Smash. Despite looking like a lot of actual Pokemon attacks, Mewtwo has quite a few new moves. Down tilt is Tail Sweep, side smash is Shadow Blast, up smash is Galaxy Force, and down smash is called Shadow Bomb. Mewtwo's forward air is called Shadow Scratch, which is probably a reference to Shadow Claw. For its throws, Mewtwo uses Shadow Cannon, which is basically a barrage of mini Shadow Balls, and up throw is Psychic Whirlwind, a really cool attack that utilizes Mewtwo's psychic powers. And for the specials, we have the previously mentioned Shadow Ball, which acts differently than its Pokemon iteration by being a chargeable projectile. Confusion is Mewtwo's side special. It has a distinct property of reflecting enemy projectiles, which is unique to its Smash iteration only. Mewtwo can also send its opponent spinning when landing this move, which replicates how this attack has a chance to confuse its target in Pokemon. Up special is Teleport, and it acts just like how you would expect it to. It's a mobility tool that doesn't do damage. For down special, Mewtwo uses Disable. Unlike in Pokemon, where this attack prevents the target from using the last move it used, Disable prevents the opponent from moving as a whole. This can only land when Mewtwo makes eye contact with its foe, however. But when that happens, well, that's a free kill. Lastly, for its final smash, Mewtwo Mega evolves into Mega Mewtwo Y and unleashes a devastating Side Strike. Not surprising of a move choice since it's the only Pokemon that can learn it. All in all, I really like how Mewtwo was portrayed in Smash. Its multitude of playstyles really match the versatility it has in its home series, and its moveset displays very well its psychic typing. Of course, its weight is inaccurate, but still, Mewtwo is an amazing character to play as. Up next, we have Pokemon Trainer, a newcomer from Brawl, and probably one of the most unique characters in all of Smash. Unlike the other fighters, Pokemon Trainer doesn't actually participate on the battlefield. Instead, it uses 3 interchangeable Pokemons, Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Because of their varying playstyles, these 3 Kanto starters synergize extremely well with one another, portraying very accurately the importance of team building in Pokemon. You see, when battling, having Pokemons that can work well together is a key to winning fights. In a team, you essentially want your Pokemon to cover each other's weaknesses through their typing or their ability to beat certain checks and counters. For example, Venusaur pairs up really well with Heatran due to their synergy in typing. Venusaur is weak against Psychic, Flying, Fire, and Ice, but thankfully, Heatran resists those typings. Alternatively, Venusaur too does a good job at resisting the majority of Heatran's weaknesses, making them a solid core. In other words, a good team requires their Pokemons to help each other in combat no matter the situation. And in Smash, Pokemon trainers Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard do just that, even literally. Thanks to their down special Pokemon Change, the Kanto starters can quickly swap out with each other. At the start of the move, the Pokemons will be immune to damage, granting them the ability to retreat and counter safely. So if one of them is in a pinch, switching out can be extremely helpful. For example, if Squirtle is at a high percent, it might want to switch out due to its extremely light weight. Ivysaur would have an easier time fighting because of its safer neutral and better survivability. But if ever it gets into a situation where Vine Whip can't reach the stage, it can switch out to Charizard, who has a superior vertical recovery. Another way the 3 Kanto starters help each other is through their difference in strength, weaknesses, and playstyles. You see, each Pokemon covers a certain archetype when fighting, making them synergize very well together. First off, there's Squirtle, the tiny turtle Pokemon. As its Pokédex title implies, it's the shortest but quickest of the 3. Due to its small frame and mobility, it excels at rapidly doing damage. Squirtle's main goal is to rack up as much percent as possible to let the other Pokemons net some KOs. But despite its low kill power, Squirtle can still end some stocks fairly early with one of its moves, Water Gun. This neutral special behaves very differently than its Pokemon counterpart. Instead of inflicting damage with a shot of water, Water Gun acts as a windbox, granting Squirtle the ability to gimp opponents who have bad recoveries. For its side special, the tiny turtle uses Withdraw. When using the move, Squirtle can't be hurt by attacks, which is similar to how this move raises the user's defense in Pokemon. Waterfall is Squirtle's up special, and it acts just like how you think it would. Squirtle rides a torrent of water, damaging any foes that come in its way. Next is Ivysaur, the Seed Pokemon. It acts as a middleweight zoner and is arguably the best of the group. Its disjointed aerials are amazing for spacing, and it can control the stage really well with its projectile. Ivysaur also has a good advantage state due to its combos and multiple kill options, such as up air, down air, and vine whip, just to name a few. Speaking about vine whip, it's one of its best specials. This attack is very fast and covers quite a large area. If Ivysaur manages to land the move with its sweet spot, it can end some stocks pretty early, which is pretty funny since the move isn't that strong in Pokemon. For its other two specials, Ivysaur uses Bullet Seed and Razor Leaf. These two attacks are solid projectiles, especially the latter. Razor Leaf is amazing at covering the stage and can be quite painful to deal with since it can combo into other attacks. Lastly, there's Charizard, the flame Pokemon. It is arguably the worst of the three because of its poor disadvantage state and slow attacks. But still, that doesn't mean it's useless. Due to its insane kill power, it will definitely be sent out when its opponents are at a high percent. Charizard also can be used when its teammates are at a high percent, since it has the better recovery of the three and the fact that it can abuse rage due to its heavy weight. Charizard's attacks may be slow, but they are nothing to scoff at, especially its specials. Flamethrower can be used to gimp opponents by aiming it downwards, and Fly and Flare Blitz are amazing kill moves, especially the latter, replicating really well how destructive the move is in Pokemon. All in all, they all play very differently. Squirtle is your main damage dealer at early percents, Ivysaur excels at stage control and securing an advantage state, while Charizard is used for its great recovery and deadly kill power. Their vast and different kit makes them synergize extremely well together, which is also displayed in their final smash, Triple Finish. For this attack, each Kanto starter combines their powerful special attacks. Squirtle does a Hydro Pump attack, Ivysaur launches a Solar Beam, and Charizard uses Fire Blast. Pokemon Trainer really does a good job at showcasing the importance of the franchise team building aspect.
POKÉMON Trainer.
Lucario, Gen 4's Pokemon rep, joined Smash as one of the newcomers back in Brawl. It is one of the most popular Pokemon in the franchise, having its own movie and a busted Mega Evolution. I mean, just look at those stats. Alongside its great speed, Lucario hits hard on both the physical and the special side, which is quite unusual for fighting types. But this may be a reference to one of Lucario's unique traits, its control of Aura. Aura is a special kind of energy that Lucario can sense and manipulate. With this source of power, it is able to predict the movements of its opponents and read the thoughts of others. Also, Lucario is one of the few Pokemon that can communicate through telepathy, which is why it is able to speak in Smash. In any case, Lucario is one of the most distinct Pokemon of the franchise, and the same can be said in Ultimate. As mentioned earlier, Lucario can control Aura. In Smash, this takes form as a unique passive. Aura boosts the damage and knockback of Lucario's moves based on how much percent it's taken. The higher it is, the more powerful its attacks become. This also applies to its special moves, as they all become magnified in both strength and size based on Aura's power. This mechanic allows Lucario to do insane damage and end stocks very early when it's at kill percent, portraying very well the strength of Aura. According to the Pokédex, Lucario can reduce boulders to dust thanks to it. Another thing that's similar between Lucario in Smash and in Pokemon are its playstyles. You see, due to Lucario's low bulk but higher offensive prowess, using it can be quite risky. You really have to set up efficiently to utilize Lucario at its full potential. This is similar in Smash due to its Aura mechanic. Lucario is a very high risk, high reward character, since it becomes more powerful as it reaches kill percent. When playing Lucario, make sure to be patient and avoid being reckless. Thankfully, it does have tools so that it plays safely in neutral, such as Aura Sphere. This attack is an amazing projectile due to its versatility. Not only can it take stocks, but it can also be used to pressure due to its charging hitbox. Unlike in Pokemon, Aura Sphere requires a charge to be used at full power. This allows Lucario to do some crazy shenanigans with the move, especially if Aura is powered up. Too bad its accuracy isn't the same as in its home series.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Lucario's side special is Force Palm. Depending at what range you use it, it becomes either a projectile or a deadly throw. Just like Aura Sphere, it varies in size depending on Lucario's percentage. Down special is Double Team. Instead of doing a million copies like how it's portrayed in the anime, Lucario attacks with a singular clone when striked. This also hits incredibly hard, which is pretty funny since the move isn't a damaging move at all in Pokemon. For its up special, Lucario uses extreme speed. As its name implies, this move is fast. When Aura is powered up, Lucario can travel extremely far, making it slightly hard to control. Lastly, Lucario's final smash is Aura Storm. Right after Mega Evolving, Lucario leaps into the air and fires a devastating blow of Aura, similar to a Kamehameha attack. It's also worth noting that Lucario does share the same English voice actor with Goku. In the end, Lucario was designed in a really neat way, focusing more on its lore of mastery and control of aura. This makes Lucario a very fun and unique fighter due to its incredible yet volatile power. Greninja, the water ninja Pokemon, was a newcomer in Smash 4, and it joined the game somewhat similarly to how Roy was included for Melee. Greninja was designed for Smash before even being an actual playable character. Surprisingly, Sakura made Greninja's whole moveset, taunts, and animations based on its concept art. So in a way, Sakura's depiction of Greninja influenced how it was portrayed in the Pokemon games and the anime, which is pretty cool. That means there's not much comparison between this Greninja and Pokemon's Greninja since this character kind of debuted in Smash. Still, the anime did affect its moveset when transitioning from Smash 4 to Ultimate, such as the kunais present in its Smash attacks and the aesthetic of its new Final Smash. Greninja's moveset and animation depicts really well the image of a ninja. This Pokemon is quick, always light on its toes, and strikes swiftly for each of its attacks. Even its playstyle is similar to a ninja's way of fighting. Greninja's game plan most of the time is to bait and punish its opponents, striking when the time is right. But due to its insane mobility and quick attacks, Greninja can also be played aggressively. Water Shuriken is Greninja's neutral special. Unlike in Pokemon, where the user shoots 2 to 5 stars, Water Shuriken only fires once and can be charged for more power. This is an amazing tool in neutral and can even end some stocks. Side special is Shadow Sneak, which is quite a fitting move choice. Greninja extends his shadow towards the ground and can warp to it as a surprise attack. This move is a useful recovery option and a surprisingly strong kill move. For up special, Greninja uses Hydro Pump. Unlike how Squirtle uses it to damage its foes, Greninja uses the water for movement. And just like Squirtle's water gun, Hydro Pump has a wind box. This move also does a tiny bit of damage, which is pretty far off from its insane power in Pokemon. Substitute is Greninja's down special. This move normally requires the user to sacrifice HP to make a decoy. In Smash, however, Substitute doesn't require health, and it acts as a counter. When hit, Greninja will immediately attack its foes in any direction it chooses, which lets it do some crazy stunts. Lastly, Greninja's final smash is Secret Ninja Attack. When activated, the Water Frog transforms into Ash Greninja, a special form derived from the anime. At the start of the attack, it uses the move Mad Block to raise its opponents into the air, then it strikes them with a flurry of Night Slashes. These two attacks represent really well Greninja's ninja background. Greninja's design in Smash 4 is very interesting. Because its whole moveset was based on its concept art, the majority of its moves and animations are inspired by its physical attributes, which isn't bad at all since Greninja honestly fits smoothly into Smash and is a blast to play. At last, we have Incineroar, the heal Pokemon and the 69th fighter to join Smash.
Nice.
A cool thing to note is that Incineroar was actually chosen over Decidueye for Ultimate, since Sakurai always wanted to design a wrestler-type character for the game. When discussing about Incineroar with the Pokemon Company, the staff showed Sakurai concept art of it shooting fire with its belt. But since that didn't fit the image of a wrestler, Sakurai did not include that aspect in Incineroar's moveset. He really wanted the heal Pokemon to revolve entirely around its wrestling persona, and that's exactly how Incineroar was designed in Ultimate. From its attacks, to its animations, to its taunts, you can clearly see Incineroar's athlete vibe in battle. It even strikes a pose when landing certain hits, just like how a pro wrestler would. Another thing that's fitting for Incineroar is its amazing grab game. Just like any wrestler, this Pokemon is amazing at close range. Up throw, back throw, and forward throw are all high damage and kill options, while down throw is Incineroar's go-to combo tool. Also, Incineroar's stats from Pokemon match surprisingly well with its Smash counterpart. Its high attack represents really well the power of its hits, its amazing bulk is similar to how its heavy weight really helps it live longer, and its low speed is also well depicted since Incineroar is the slowest character in the game. The fire Pokemon specials are also well designed too. Darkest Lariat, Incineroar's signature move, acts just like how it does in Pokemon. It's a very powerful attack that comes out surprisingly fast. For side special, Incineroar uses Alolan Whip. This isn't a Pokemon move, as it's based more on Incineroar's wrestling background. This attack involves it throwing its foes towards some ropes, then it viciously attacks them after being bounced off. Time it right, and the move will do more damage. Up special is Cross Chop. Although this is normally a fighting type move, Incineroar does emit fire when attacking, which can damage its foes. This move is also a horrendous recovery move.
Oh no, I hope I don't fall.
For its down special, Incineroar uses Revenge. In Pokemon, this move is used as an attack that doubles in power if the user had been hurt before moving. In Smash, however, Incineroar takes a stance that blocks any attack coming its way. By doing so, it increases the power of its next attack that lands. And for Incineroar's final smash, the heal Pokemon uses Max Malicious Moonsault, an attack that is based on its exclusive Z move. Incineroar's design in Ultimate is quite interesting, focusing only on its wrestling background rather than its physical attributes like its claws or fire belt. It's a pretty distinct fighter thanks to its taunts that happens after every attack and its unique counter, making Incineroar a very fun character to use. And that's it for all the Pokemon fighters in Smash. It's pretty cool to see how creative their movesets are, as all of their designs are mainly based on their Pokédex entries or their physical attributes. It's also interesting to see that ever since Brawl, we never had another new Pokemon trainer as a fighter. But hey, with how creative characters are becoming in Smash right now, who knows how the next Pokemon fighter will be.